2020 Alfa Romeo Stelvio in the shop today. I'll be showing you guys how to disable the fuel system and perform a fuel induction cleaning using the WINS fuel induction service tool. So first thing I'm going to do is disable the fuel system by pulling the fuse located at the rear PDC, located in the trunk, and I'm going to leave the vehicle running while we do this. So show you what fuse we're going to pull right now. So on the passenger side there is this PDC, which is located behind this cover. Goes like that. And what you're going to do is you're going to pull this cover off of the fuse panel. You're going to take the fuse puller. You're going to go to this middle fuse here, this 30 amp fuse right here in the middle, and the vehicle's still running, and you're going to pull it. Now while the vehicle's running, it should die any second now. And of course, you're going to have a bunch of warning lights while this is going on. What it's doing now is it's just running off the fuel that's located inside of the fuel line and or the fuel rail. Once the vehicle dies, there's no longer any pressure inside that line, and you can go ahead and disconnect the fuel line from the back of the engine, which I'll show you how to do. Oh, see, just died. So let's go ahead and turn the ignition off and move on. Now, in order to be able to do this job, you need the fuel induction service tool as well as the adapter that's going to plug into, if I can get in there, into this section of the fuel line. So what you're going to want to do is first remove the tab that's way down there, or unclip it I should say, so you can separate the line from the intake cover. And what you're going to do is, once you got room, you're going to lift this tab, this blue tab, up, exposing the little push pins on the side, which you're going to squeeze and pull that line from this line. So let me get it apart and show you guys what I'm talking about. All right, so we have the line. This is the coolant pipe, by the way, that goes to the reservoir. This is the fuel line coming off of from the fuel pump, the low side fuel pump in the fuel tank. And then the other end of it, I had disconnected from it and moved off to the side as this end. This is the line that goes to your high pressure fuel pump, which goes to the fuel rail. All right. We're using, I don't think I could use their name due to copyright issues, I'm not sure, but this is what the machine looks like. And it uses shop air. So plug the shop air into there. The regulator, make sure you adjust it to, I like to keep it at 50 PSI. And then once you have the chemical in here, obviously you put the chemical in here before you hook up the shop air. And then you regulate the pressure to 50 PSI. And then you open this valve here once this is plugged in to that line. And you'll see the pressure on this go to 50 PSI as well. And once you see it there, then you can go ahead and start the vehicle. So let's hook this up and I'll show you what I'm talking about as far as all that complicated mess goes. So the product we will be using today is this BG air intake and valve cleaner. These two cans here go into the can here, which connects to the other part on the car, and then this part here goes into the gas tank. So I'm going to put these two cans in this can and then put this can back on the other half of the tool. All right, we have our fuel line connected to the tool, chemicals in the bottle, shop air connected to the tool. We have it at 45 here, but on the other end it's at 50, which is where we want it. So next, all we got to do is start the car and let it run. All right, so we got the vehicle running now. As you can see, that needle is jumping because it's moving with the strokes of the high pressure fuel pump. So as you guys know, the high pressure fuel pump is ran off of a lobe on the cam. So as that pump is getting operated by the cam, you see the movement of it right there, opening and closing, opening and closing. So we're gonna let this thing run. It takes about 40 to 45 minutes. Just let the thing idle, let it do its work. So come back when it's all finished up and I'll show you how to button this up. Okay, so the vehicle just died. I went ahead and turned off the ignition. I'm gonna go ahead and disconnect the shop air. And next, this little pressure relief valve that's in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and release the air from the system. And the next important thing you're gonna wanna do is close the valve off. That goes to the line, that goes to the fuel line. So now if that's done, we're gonna disconnect this from the high pressure side fuel line, and we're going to plug in the low side back into that. And then we'll install the fuse and try to start the vehicle. Let's do that. All right, so we have the vehicle idling right now. Keep in mind that once you're finished with the fuel induction service, you will need to crank the vehicle for about 30 to 45 seconds. It's not gonna crank right over the first time. This is due to the chemical running out in the fuel lines and the fuel rails. So keep that in mind. And then also, once you get it running, it may run a little bit rough for the first 10 to 15 seconds. But just go ahead and give it a little gas. Keep the idle at about 3,000 to 3,500 RPM for about 30 to 45 seconds, just to kind of clear that out. And then also another thing to keep in mind is that you are going to have a check engine light, service throttle body, service assembly, auto start stop. Your DNA is not going to work. It's going to stay in natural mode. Just have on hand a pocket scanner. Or if you want to take a trip down to AutoZone, just have them clear the codes so your check engine light goes off, and then all the other systems are going to work, or at least they should anyway. This concludes this video. Please give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, share this video with anybody that you think may need it for informational purposes. Thank you guys for, all the love and support, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.